Good morning and welcome to Monday's maths lesson, where today we are going to be doing an arithmetic paper. So if you have managed to print it off, brilliant. If you have been able to come and sort out collection dates and things like that, brilliant. If not, don't worry, you can just do this into your maths jotter, scrap paper, whatever you've got around, not a problem. So we are going to practice our arithmetic skills every Monday. So every Monday maths will be an arithmetic test, okay? These give you 30 minutes to complete all the questions. So what I would say is give yourself 30 minutes, give it your best shot, see how far you get through. If you want to finish it after 30 minutes, brilliant, go for it. But it's the kind of only count the marks really that you do in the first 30 minutes, because that's what we would have if we were doing these properly. Okay, so an arithmetic test is no worded questions. It is just addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, decimals, sometimes a little bit of percentage. And that's the only thing that we haven't covered yet is percentage. Everything else you should be able to give a really good go-to on this. Okay, everything else we have already covered this year. So it is arithmetic paper 1. You have 30 minutes. Once you've completed those 30 minutes, and I will trust you to time yourself rather than me sitting in silence for 30 minutes. So pause the video for 30 minutes, then press play and we'll go through the answers. Good luck and off you go. Okay, hopefully you have paused the video for 30 minutes and you haven't just skipped straight to the answers. I know we wouldn't do that. We will go through these together. Obviously, if you've got the sheet at home, you do your working out in here and you write your answer in the box and you can mark it here. If you haven't got it printed out, do not worry. As long as you know where your final answer is, that's all right. It's 1 mark per question unless I say otherwise. For some of the harder questions are 2 marks. So I'm not going to go through all of them in great detail because some of them I don't think we need to because I think we're really good at them, but I will go through the ones that we might find a bit trickier. Number 1, straightforward subtraction. 1024 take away 100 would be 924. Question 2, nice multiplication question. I'll go through this one just because sometimes we make some mistakes on these. So it's 68 times by 7, which this is why we need to be really good at knowing, sorry, got a light there, don't we? Really good at knowing our times tables. Not really made a difference. So that we can do these really, really quickly. So 8 times 7 is 8 times 7, work out 7 times 7 is 49, so 8 times 7 is 56. There'll be 56 ones. So we leave the 6 ones and we rename the 50 ones as 5 tens in that tens column. 6 times 7 is 42. Add your 5 is 47 tens. So we leave the 7 tens in the tens column and then the 40 tens we rename as 400. So your answer to number 2 should be 476. Number 3, I will go through this one again because decimals is something that we have been practicing. So hopefully we could get this one right. So 2.6 plus 0.5. And the key with this is line it up. You want your tenths lined up, your ones lined up, your decimal place lined up. 6 add 5 is 11. 11 tenths. 2 holes, add 1 hole, add no holes is 3 holes. So number 3 should be 3.1. Number 4, 15 times 5. Nice and straightforward multiplication. You could have done 10 times 5 and 5 times 5 and add them together. You could have done your 5 times tables and carried on to 15 times 5. Or you could have done column method. It did not matter. 15 times 5 is 75. This next one looks confusing because the equal sign of the answer box are on the left-hand side, not the right, but it's exactly the same thing. So you just need to add these 2 numbers together using column method, and you should have got the answer 5,628. Number 6, again, straightforward addition. We should be really good at these by now. Add them up, just make sure you've got your place value in the right place, so make sure you've added ones and ones, tens and tens, hundreds, obviously there isn't a hundred in the second number, so 6 would be 438. Number 7, that's one of the easiest questions on the paper, use times tables, 5 times 9, 45. Number 8, again, line it up properly. Your decimal points must line up. So we've got 6.012, and then we've got 0.7. So there's my decimal place. I've got 0 in the ones column, and I've got 7 in the tenths column. And add them together. Oh, I can go here then, because I've got 1,000, sorry, in a space. Oh, what do I do? Hopefully you can remember that you can put as many zeros as you want after a decimal place and it doesn't change your answer. So 2 thousandths add 0 thousandths is 2 thousandths. 1 hundredth add no hundredths is 1 hundredth. 7 tenths add no tenths is 7 tenths. 6 wholes add no wholes is 6 wholes. So my answer is this. No, don't forget your decimal point. So your answer should be 6.712. Well done if you got that one right. Number 9, again, nice and easy. So because it's multiplication, it doesn't matter which order you do these in. You could do 6 times 3, times it by 6. You could do 6 times 6 and times it by 3. It does not matter. So 6 times 3 would be 18. And then I'm going to times that by 6. 8 times 6 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6. Add these 4 is 10, so 10 tenths, which is 100. So my answer should be 108. Number 10. Again, one of the easiest questions on the paper. Can we take this away straight away? Yes, because the denominators are the same. Hopefully you're saying that along with me at home, because I know that you know that STEM sentence. So 5 6 take away 1 6 is 4 sixths. You would also get the mark if you simplified it to 2 thirds. You would get the mark either way. Number 11, 70 times 7. Right, what number fact do we know is going to help us work this out? Well, 7 times 7 is 49, so 70 times 70, 490. Next one, 6 squared. So squared is when you times the number by itself. So 6 squared is 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Then you are adding on 7, which would be 43. So number 12 is 43. Right, number 13. We have done these lots and lots and lots. I'm just going to see if I can turn this light off, see if it looks any better. Oh, that's a bit better. We've lost that horrible glare. So 13, 7.56, and I'm timesing by 100. So if I'm timesing by 100, my number is going to get bigger, and we are going to move it how many places up the place value scale? Or hopefully you can tell me you're going to move it 2 places, because all of these are all of our place value. There's 10 tenths make a whole, 10 wholes, 10 ones make a 10, 10 tens make 110, 10 hundredths make 1,000, going up the place value scale. So hopefully you know that to get from here to here, that's timesing by 10. So then if I want to times by 100, I move it 2 places, and if I times by 1,000, I would then move it 3 places. I have got, and I'll draw this out nicely so you can see it. We've got the ones, we've got tenths, we've got hundredths, then we've got tens, hundreds, and thousands on this side. I'm going to draw this in like we would if we had place value maths so that we can see it. My number was 7.56, and I'm going to draw these underneath as well so I can see it. So if I'm timesing by 100, I am moving it 2 places to the left, because 7 times 10 would be 70, but I want to times it by 100, so I move it 2 places, 700. 5 tenths start here, times it by 10, times it by 100. 600 start here, times it by 10, times it by 100. So your answer is 756. If you could have 0.00, but you don't need those, but the decimal points and the zeros after it don't change your number. So your answer for number 13 is 756. 14 is nice and straightforward, straightforward subtraction. Again, just make sure you've lined up your numbers correctly. Make sure you've got your place value, because this one's got 4 digits, this one's got 3 digits. They won't line up perfectly. So 14 is 3,153. 15 is very similar to 13, apart from this time we're timesing by 1,000. So we move it how many places? 3. So your answer would be 1,300. 1,300. 16, lovely and easy. Can you add these straight away? Yes, because the denominators are the same. 3 tenths add 4 tenths is 7 tenths, and you cannot simplify. Right, this is the only one so far that we haven't done before, okay? However, not as tricky as you think. So I'll quickly show you how to do it, but please don't worry if you don't understand it. We will be going through this later in the year. So percent, cent means 100, so percent means out of 100. So 25% is like saying 25 out of 100. Okay, these two things are the same way of writing the same thing. Different ways of writing the same thing. There we go. Right. What is 25 over 100 the same as? What's it the same as? Well, hopefully you can tell me it's the same as 0.25 because there's 25 hundredths. Hopefully you can tell me that if you divide both of these by 25, you could also simplify it to a quarter. So what I'm actually asking for when I say 25% of 1,400, I'm actually asking for a quarter of 1,400. Okay? And to find a quarter, you divide by 4. So you're going to do 1,400, oh, sorry, you can't see that, divided by 4. So how many times can you divide 1 by 4? 0. Rename. How many times can you divide 14 by 4? How many 4s go into 14? Well, it's 4, 8, 12, 16. Oh, can't do 4, but I can divide it. It does go in 3 times. Rename the 2. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And nothing divided by 4 is nothing. So your answer would be 350. You could also say half of 1,400 is 700. Half of 700 is 350. Please don't worry if you didn't follow that, because like I say, percentages are the ones that we just haven't really done yet. So don't worry if you didn't understand that one. And I'll let you off if you didn't get that one right. This chair's a bit squeaky. Right, number 18 then. So this one is a division one, okay? Or you could also use your number facts. So division again then. So bus stop method. 1,210, I'm dividing by 11. So you're going to be using your 11 times table. If you want to write your 11 times table down, you can. So how many times can you divide 1 by 11? How many 11s go into 1? Hopefully you're telling me 0. Rename that 1,000 into 10 hundredths, so now hundreds, so now I've got 12. How many times does 11 go into 12? 1, and I've got 1 left over. How many 11s go into 11? 1, and 0 divided by 11 is 0. So your answer for 18 would be 110. 19. Again, nice and easy. You've just got to get your decimal place value correct. 19 is 71.8. Another nice easy one, and again, place value. Ones, ones, tens, tens. Line it up. 34,562. This one at number 21 then, this is what we were doing just before Christmas. We were multiplying decimals. So do it the same as you would multiply whole numbers. Apart from, you've just got to remember this decimal point. So 5 times 8 is 40. So I put a 0 in the hundredths column and I rename those 40 hundredths as 4 tenths. 8 times 1 tenth is 8 tenths. Add these 4 tenths is 12 tenths. So I leave the 2 tenths and I rename the 10 tenths as 1 whole. 2 wholes times 8 is 16. Add 1 is 17. So your answer should be 17.20, or, because we know we don't need that, 17.2. Well done if you got that right. It's been a while since we've recapped that one. Oh, we've done that one. Oh, we're flying through. Right, last few then. 22. So again, it's a straightforward division. Use your bus stop method. Use your 6 times table. 762. 23. Again, it's just place value. Make sure you line them up correctly. 23 is 15.88. Same for 24, 635, 460, sorry, 635,464. Right, 25. Come on, we can do these. We were good at this. So when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply the top, the numerator, you multiply the bottom, the denominator. So 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 5 is 15, so you should have 1 over 15, which you can't simplify because there's no common factor other than 1. Okay, this one is a 2-mark question, and I always say leave those to the end. Okay, so if you didn't get time to do this one, try and have a go with me now. Okay, I'll try and use different colours so you can see what I'm doing. So, for 45 times 19, it is really asking you to do 45 times 10 and then 45 times 9. And then once we've done that, we then add them together. So 45 times 10, I don't actually need column method for that because I actually know the answer already, which would be 450 because I move it all one place up my place value columns. 45 times 9 then, well 5 times 9 is 45. 4 times 9 is 36. Add 4 is 40. Okay, then I need to add these together. So 450, add 405, would be 855. And if you got that correct, you get 2 marks. So really well done. So 26 is 855, and if you got it right, you get 2 marks. Okay, another percentage one. I'm not going to go through how to work this one out yet because, like I said, we haven't covered these yet. So 27, the answer is 238. And if you got that right, well done. That is fantastic. But don't worry if you didn't. We will go through this when we come back in, well, hopefully in February. We'll go through that then. Okay, 28 and 29 are both fraction ones. We can do these nice and easy. So we've got 9 times 2 quarters, and that's the same as saying 9 times 2 and 9 times a quarter, because remember we partition these up. So we're doing 9 times 2 quarters. Well, 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times a quarter would be, think about it, what's 9 times 1 chair? What's 9 times 1 table? Will it be 9 chairs or 9 tables? So 9 times 1 quarter is just 9 quarters. What is 9 quarters an example of? Hopefully you can tell me that's an improper fraction. So how many wholes can I make with 9 quarters? And 1 whole is 4 quarters, so I can make 1 whole, 4 quarters, 2 wholes would be 8 quarters. So that'd be 2 wholes, how many left over? 1 quarter. Is that my answer then? No, I need to add these together. So the answer would be 20 wholes and 1 quarter. Next one then, 29. Can you add those two fractions together straight away? No, because the denominators are different. So we need to find the common denominator. So my common denominator is going to be, hopefully you're telling me 12. So we've times 3 by what? By 4. So we times the numerator by 4, which would be 8. We've times 4 times by what to get to 12? 3, so we're going to times 1 by 3. So 8 add 3 is 11 twelfths. Can we simplify it? No, we can't. So you should have got 11 twelfths. Well done if you got those right. We are really good at those. So if you've not got that right, check it, see where you went wrong. Okay, we're on the final few then. So 3,598 divided by 14. So for this one, we are going to use our 14 times table. So I'm going to draw this up here. So we've got 3,598, and we're dividing by 14. Okay, remember how we did our 14 times table? We did 10 times table, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then I do the 4 times table. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And then we add them up and you've got your 14 times table. So it's 14, say them with me, 28, 42, 56, 70, 84. And obviously, if we need to go further, we can do. We don't do the whole thing straight away. Okay, how many times does 14 go into 3? Well, it doesn't. So we rename those 3000s as 30/100s. How many times does 14 go into 35? Does it go in once? Yes. Does it go in twice? Yes. Does it go in 3 times? No. So it goes in twice, which is 28. And we've got to share 35. So what's the difference between 28 and 35? So it starts at 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 7. So we rename 7. Okay, how many times is 79 can be divided by 14? So once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times? No. So 5 times would be 70. And then you've got how many left over? 9, which would be 98. Okay, so we might have to do a little bit more then here. So we've got 70, we've got 20, 24, 28, which would be 98. So it goes in exactly 257 times. Really well done if you got that right. And that is also 2 marks. So well done. Okay, next one. 3/8 divided by 3. So dividing by a whole number, think about this. If you're dividing by 3, it's the same as timesing by a third. We know how to multiply fractions. Nice and easy. And you can then simplify this. So 3 divided by 3 would be 1. 24 divided by 3 would be 8. 218. You'd get the mark for either of those questions. Okay, last few then. We'll fly through these. So the next one is BODMAS. 2 times 17 take away 6. So we always do the what first? The brackets. So 17 take away 6 would be 9. 2 times 9 would be... Oh, it wouldn't be 9. Oh, I've gone bonkers. Right, 17 take away 6 is 11. Hopefully you were correcting me there. So 2 times 11, that's more like it, is 22. Well done if you got that right. Don't make a silly mistake like I just did. Okay, next one is another 2 marker. So you do 786 times 6. 786 times 50. So make sure you've put that extra 0 in as a placeholder. Add them up and your answer is 44,016. 44,016, and that is worth 2 marks. Okay, subtracting fractions, we can do this one. So 2 wholes and 1/3, and we're taking away 2/5. Can you take them away straight away? No, because the denominator is different. So my denominator is going to be 15, that's my common denominator. So I've timed this fraction by 5 to go into 15ths. I've timed this fraction by 3 to go into 15ths. So I'm now left with 2 wholes and 5/15, take away 6/15. Can I do that? Not yet, because you can't do 5/15, take away 6/15. So I need to convert this 2 wholes. So I leave 1 whole as it is, and I turn the other whole into how many 15ths? 15. Add this 5, so I've now got 20 15ths, take away 6/15, which would be 1 whole and 14 15ths. Okay, we can do these ones, but that was a tricky one. Really well done if you got that right. That was 1 mark. Fantastic. Right, this next one is a horrible question because you need your 43 times table. And if you got it right, it is 2 marks. So well done. These are the ones you leave to the end. However, it wasn't too horrible in that there wasn't a remainder and there wasn't a decimal. So your answer would just be 65. So well done if you got the answer of 65. You get 2 marks. Last one then. Well done for sticking with me this far. And we can do these last questions actually nice and easy. So dividing by 3 is the same as timesing by